The story I will tell will be about the psychological influence of the teachers on students in teacher-student relationships in secondary school. In the school environment, teacher-student relations are studied at the micro level of the curriculum. The incident I will talk about happened when I was in the ninth grade. First of all, I should mention that during my school years, I was one of the students who studied very well, was an example to the class, and I loved by my classmates. At the end of the 8th grade, our English teacher couldn't continue teaching us for some reason, and in the ninth grade, she was replaced by a new teacher. Also, I never wanted our teacher to change, and I loved her very much. Our new teacher treated me more harshly and rudely from the first time we started classes. One of the main reasons for this situation was that in some schools of our country, in addition to school classes, students get individual trainings from the teachers during the school years. This is the kind of tutoring that you go to and pay for it, and this is not legal. And teachers don't pay any taxes for these activities. Some teachers demand it to go to their tutoring classes, otherwise, you will get lower grades. Although many students from our class went to private training with our new English teacher, I didn't go, and she was satisfied with that. So every day she behaved me more rudely with me, tried to embarrass me in front of my other classmates, and continued to have psychological pressure on me. In my difficult and sensitive period, I was very affected by one of the events that happened. So I felt very angry before the English class and started to cry involuntarily. At that time, our English teacher came to the class and witnessed my crying, while she saw that I was not good. When I told my teacher that I wasn't feeling well, so I wanted to go to my mother and ask her to give me textbook, she sternly refused to allow me. Then she informed that she would ask me for a lesson today, and she looked at me and laughed and showed that she was enjoying the situation I was in. Also, I felt very bad. The teacher made me stand up in the class, said unkind things about my relatively poor answer, and gave me a low grade, further embarrassed me in front of the class, and continued to laugh at me throughout the class. Since that day, I hadn't taken English lessons seriously anymore. Instead of learning English, I just focused on getting grades, and only thing that I felt about teacher and the lesson was hate. Because of this incident with the English teacher, I felt that I should change my class, and I did. I left my classmates. After that, I lost my confidence about English. I started focusing non-English files in all my options. However, years passed, thanks to the station that I became a teacher, and at the same time I started giving training on child psychology to many students and teachers. At that time, remembering the trauma I received from childhood, I began to heal myself. Later, I learned English better and started and working to realize my dream of studying in England. And now I am here. My English is very good and I am studying in England. The main reason I tell this story is to show how much a teacher's behavior and attitude towards students play a big role in students' lives. Sometimes a teacher can change a student's life in a very positive way, and sometimes in a very negative way. Therefore, I think that when choosing a teaching style, teachers should know how to approach students individually, study psychology, and teachers should learn how to work with students in different emotional states and in diverse characteristics. Because teachers are people who play a big role in students' life, have a special place, and can change their lives.